Hello and welcome. I'm Andreas. I work as a trainer and consultant primarily for C++. And I'm also the creator of C++ Insights. And this is also the tool I like to talk about in this series. So in today's episode, we use CppCon, which is one of the tools I use frequently in my training classes, because it allows a different peek behind the scenes than C++ Insights does. And today's episode is about why it makes a difference whether you provide a destructor with empty curly braces, a destructor that comes with equals default, or no destructor at all. I'm using std_optional to show you where the difference is. So if you look at the assembly output for this code here on the right, then this is the line we are interested in. So all the calls we see. This is the call to the std_optional constructor, constructing an empty optional. And the rest here is, well, creation of the function and leaving the function. Now, people often say, well, the compiler provides a destructor for Apple anyway. It's empty. Why does it hurt to provide an empty destructor myself? Because then I know that Apple has a destructor or something like that is often the reasoning. Let's see what happens. So if I provide my own destructor here with empty curly braces, then one thing we can see, an empty destructor comes with quite a lot of assembly instructions. So this is entering the function and leaving the function. But we can see something else. We now also see a call to the destructor of std_optional. Because std_optional tries to be the perfect wrapper around our type, it emulates all the special member functions our type brings. And if that one comes with a custom destructor, then std_optional comes also with one. So that means it's not only the few assembly lines we got in addition to line number 13 here for our destructor. It also means we have another function call to our destructor. Well, in my example, the compiler will, with O3, optimize everything away because it's silly, I guess, in the eyes of the compiler. On a broader scope, in a bigger program, it's no longer that easy to optimize things away sometimes for compilers. So you might end up with the destructors still being in there. And now you get an additional call. Okay, so this is where things change because it's now a user provided and no longer only a compiler implicitly declared or provided destructor. Things change if you use the C++11 notation to say that you want to explicitly default the destructor. So that one now counts as user declared because we are only telling the compiler there is a destructor, but it's up to you to provide it. And now for std_optional and the entire rest of the machinery, that looks equivalent to doing nothing. Here we can argue, if you don't have to do anything, then don't do it, because providing your own destructor means losing the move operations, and bringing them back means losing the copy operations. So this is hopefully for you to see that there is a difference between a destructor with empty curly braces, which generates more code with an option, of course, to getting optimized away, and doing nothing, or at least saying equals default for your special member functions. So it makes a difference at the end of the day. I hope this helps you to understand a little bit better why we all advocate for either doing nothing or saying equals default and never ever provide an empty destructor. Well, there's one exception we might talk later about, but for now, I hope you enjoyed this and you learned something today. That's it for today. Stay tuned for the next episode. Bye bye.